Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is the Council of All Living Things. And the question that we're looking at today is the Council of All Creatures is actually what I called it. But what we're looking at today is, hi, Rosalind, welcome, welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. This is sort of a continuation from our movie night last night, which you attended. It was so good to see you there. That was wonderful. So before I get started, we'll dig into all of this, but before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, and creating this brilliant beam of light from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's just gently press our palms together and softly rub your fingers against your palms. Feel the texture, the tension, the tickling, the sensation. Allow that sensation to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. So we're talking about the Council of All Creatures, and this came from a conversation that I had with a remarkable man yesterday who is very, very attuned to nature. You know, when I was talking to him, I kind of felt like I was talking to a real life Dr. Dolittle in a way, but he doesn't just talk to the animals, he talks to the plants as well. And he has this really highly cultivated sensitivity and awareness and connection with nature. And I was talking to him about the eco park, and he said, you know, all of this regenerative activity that people are focusing on is good as far as it goes, but it has so much further to go because it's not truly consulting with nature. It's not truly connecting with the intelligence of nature for its guidance. And what we get to do if we're going to survive on this planet, let alone thrive, is commune with nature, connect with nature. And sorry, I've got cat hairs from kissing my pussycat. We get to learn from nature's wisdom about what does it want to call forth? How does it want us to engage with it? And how does it want to engage with us? And that was such an eye-opening conversation. You know, talk about different perspectives, right? Like if you think about human beings, for the most part, our language, our conversation, our priorities, our social structure, our monetary structure, it's all very anthropocentric, right? It's all centered around human beings. And nature we don't relate to nature as something alive with its own intelligence. Welcome, welcome, Lisa. So good to have you here with us this morning. We're talking about the Council of All Creatures. And the Council of All Creatures includes the insects and the plants and all the animals and the snakes and the critters and the fungi and the fish. It's the Council of All Creatures. And I am very moved by the thought of that, and I don't have a clue how to begin. I just don't have a clue how to begin. And actually, as I'm saying that, it's not true. So I'll expose what I'm thinking. Last night on movie night, we showed a remarkably beautiful, beautiful film called Secret of Water. And there were so many things. If we think about water, we really don't know anything about it. We know very, very little about it. We know of the standard 3 states of water: liquid, vapor, and solid. Oh, Lisa, so sweet. Thank you. Lisa says, my birds hear you and they're saying hello, hello, and blowing you kisses. That's so beautiful, Lisa. Thank you. Good morning, Elaine. Wonderful to have you here with us this morning. Elaine says, just show up and nature will show the way. I think that's true, is like show up with an intention. So anyway, we showed this movie last night, Secret of Water. I highly recommend it. It's a movie that you might want to watch more than once. I've seen it twice and I'm still hearing and learning things that I didn't catch the first time, and look forward to watching it again. So the thing that they were talking about is that water maybe is the I want to say computer. I'm looking here at my notes, some of the things that I wrote. But water is the program of life, perhaps. That it carries information. We know that water carries information. And the movie talks about and demonstrates Emoto's work. And there's this other woman that I don't see my phone here, unfortunately, because I was looking for the name of this other woman who's also doing remarkable work with water. And I listened to a number of her interviews, and I also ordered her book. You know what? I can probably find out what the book is if I go look on Amazon. I want to share this with you because it was so remarkable. She has actually set up a communication with water where she gets images fed back from water, like she's in communication, in sort of a dialogue with water. And it's just amazing. So let me just see if I can find this, because it's mind-blowing to imagine or to connect with the possibility of water actually being something that has consciousness. And really, I'm looking through all the books here online about water. There's so many. Emoto's book is called Hidden Messages in Water. And there are some beautiful photographs. What he did, for those of you who don't know, is he would do experiments where he would use a word like write on a piece of paper, peace, love, and put the water in a container on top of the word. Here it is. It's called Secret Intelligence of Water, Macroscopic Evidence of Water Responding to Human Consciousness. I'm going to put this link. It's from Amazon. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. This is just so remarkable and mind-blowing. And the woman's name is Veda Austin. And that's Veda Austin. Veda Austin. You might want to look her up. Unbelievable, remarkable. Elaine says, I live in nature in all ways with my whole being. In every now presents is true knowing beyond the mind, heart-centered. For sure, for sure. That, in fact, you nailed it. Of course you did. That the way to be communing with nature is not through our mind, it's through our hearts. And there's a heart connection that comes through in knowingness. And people who have worked with plant medicine receive knowledge from the plants through their heart, through dreams, through things that present in life. When we commune with nature, nature speaks back to us. So Jenny says, I wrote messages and affirmations. Beautiful. So you can write these affirmations, messages, and put the water on the message. And then what Emoto did was freeze the water and look at the crystals that would emerge. And this woman, Veda Austin, has been cultivating a rapport and relationship with water over a period of time. And it started when she was thinking about, well, could I communicate with water? And there was a dust particle in this water, and she reached in and she said, I wonder if the water would understand a hand. And then she froze the water, and there was an image of a hand. It looked like an X-ray, so bizarre, that was in the frozen water. And then the water started giving all these other images as she would be communicating with it back and forth. And she talked about how it's building a relationship. Of course it is, right? And we have to tune ourselves to be able to connect. So Jenny writes, and by the way, welcome, Jenny. So good to have you here with us this morning. Jenny says, one every chemo bag that was given to me. Oh my gosh. Wow. Also on my water bottles. Well, that was brilliant for you to do that, actually. I'll bet that made a huge difference. Wow. So really a brilliant thing to be facilitating your own healing. Elaine says, water is nature flowing through all that is pure innocence, clear. Well, water apparently, there's no two waters in any place in the world. So Jenny, are you still going through chemo? I'm wondering, because we can send you all kinds of love and light. We can send you all kinds of love and light anyway, but especially if you're going through chemo. And there's a thing that I just learned about last night. It's called a flasca, and it apparently is pretty effective. What it does is it helps to structure the water. And there was somebody at our gathering last night who has one and has used it to water her plants and has found that her plants really, really liked it. The ones that she watered with it really responded well to it. So obviously we must respond well to something like that too, right? We are primarily water. So anyway, this morning I woke up really early, and I was at like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was a bit agitated, kind of discombobulated emotionally with some things going on. I just couldn't find my place to get settled, and I decided to go have a bath. And Elaine says, blessings, beautiful and lovely ones. Thank you, Elaine. So I decided to have a bath, and I was listening to one of the interviews from Veda Austin, and I was being with the water and communing with the water. And the thing is that rather than just trying to dominate or control the water, we can actually communicate with it, apparently. And that was my experience, is to be in the water and have the intention to heal the water while allowing the water to be healing me. And it was super, super powerful, because I can tell you that there is a level of calm now that I'm experiencing that I was not when I got into that tub. And so, I was experiencing and sending love and appreciation, and I felt that embrace also from the water. So healing the water and the water healing me. And Jenny says, no, August 5th, I will be 7 years post stem cell transplant. I had 2 times leukemia, AML. Wow. Jenny, congratulations for 7 years. Beautiful. And stem cells are kind of miraculous too, right? I had a stem cell therapy, and I plan to have another one with my banked stem cells, but it was after having the stem cell treatment that my eyebrows and my eyelashes and some other hair on my body started growing back. So it's powerful after alopecia. So my head, I have sprouts, but not enough for a full head of hair yet. So maybe the next stem cell treatment will do that. Who knows? And Tammy says, I love a good bath when not feeling well. Yeah. So now when we draw a bath, we can be putting intention into the tub, and into the water. And because in our municipal systems, water's going through all these right angle kinds of things, and it's absorbing information from all kinds of pharmaceuticals and pollutants and chemicals and all of that. And it needs healing just like we do. So when we allow ourselves to be present to it and grateful for it and conscious about it and in awe of it and wonder, then that feeds back into us, so it really is a circular system. Jenny says, remember the movie Cocoon? I do vaguely. I remember the scene in the pool a bit, but I'm not sure that I remember much else. Anyway, how interesting when we think about water being a transmitter of information. And somebody pointed out in the film, and I wasn't aware of it, that in the creation story in the Bible, water wasn't created. The firmaments were created, but water wasn't created. So what's up with that? Really interesting, right? Lisa says, you are beautifully bald. I cannot imagine you with hair. It allows us to see all your beauty. You're so kind, Lisa. That's very, very sweet of you to say. I used to have really, really straight, really, really dark hair, like really dark brown that almost looked black. And at one time in my life, it was so long that if I sat on the floor, people would step on it. Yeah, so that's interesting. And then at one point I cut it because I was afraid that people just identified me by my hair, or I think it was more like I felt too identified with it. And now it's gone. How about that? I figure I'm channeling my inner alien, right? Um, so Jenny says, mine was cord blood from two different babies. Germany, my immune system was reset. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, it's kind of miraculous. Stem cells are miraculous. And they are kind of the fountain of youth or the fountain of regeneration, really quite remarkable and miraculous. And I know that the pharma companies have worked really hard to shut down stem cell research. And the company that I got my my stem cells taken from, they got sued by the FDA. They got into a world of hurt because the FDA was saying that spinning out the stem cells from fat that was taken from my body, that was a medical procedure. I mean, crazy, crazy, crazy. They really tortured and went to destroy the person who had this clinic. It's pretty awful what's happening with that, because stem cells have potential to be eliminating the need for so many pharmaceuticals and so many surgical procedures. And it is the future of medicine. Without the ownership that our current system tries to, the monetization of everything that our system is trying to perpetrate. Wow, this is getting political, and I didn't really expect it to be. I wanted to talk about the Council of All Creatures and recognize that that nature has intelligence way beyond our awareness, and that to entertain what might be possible if we were able to truly commune with nature in guiding us in our evolution of development for like housing and buildings and business and all of that. What if we learned from nature? What if we were in communion with and guided by the intelligence and the will of nature? I mean, my head is still spinning in trying to figure out how maybe to conceptualize that, how to embody that understanding and to presence myself to it. Rosalind says the movie last night talked about home treatment systems. Was there a product that was mentioned how to make structured water at home? It brought to mind juicing celery. It's funny that you talk about juicing celery, Rosalind. I did juice celery for a while, and I love it. I have to say I love it. But one of the devices, I don't know if they talked about it. I don't think they talked about it last night, but one of the devices is this Flasca thing, which is a bottle that's been conditioned and also inscribed with words and programmed with certain energy. And you can buy it and put water in it, and they guarantee that it'll work for at least 4 years energetically. So it's I had put the link in the chat. So it's Flaska, FLASKA.com. And there are other companies that have something similar. And they also talked about flow form. So this is because water gets polluted, and it gets, if we're angry, that goes into the water. The pharmaceutical stuff, even if it isn't chemical, the energy of it goes into the water. All the chemicals and metals and minerals from the piping and the right angles and all of that goes into the water. So how do we recondition water? and they were talking about something called flow forms that have vertical figure eight rhythms. So I looked up flow forms, and they're kind of like fountains where the water goes through and it ends up going through vortices, a number of different vortices as it travels down, through this sort of fountain. It's not really a fountain, but it's like a vortex maze for the water. And as it goes through these vortices, it clears the energy of the water. And it's something apparently that's used in biodynamic farming to condition and enliven, or biodynamics, which I know very little about, but it's a very interesting school of thought and has been really profoundly effective with farming. We don't hear a lot about biodynamic farming, more regenerative farming these days, but I imagine that biodynamics works well with regenerative practices. Anyway, this is to bring back the life to the water. And Jenny is talking about, I think you're talking about stem cells. The old people got younger. Lisa says, wow. Jenny said, I like it. Oh, my head. I like it. Nice shaped head, naturally beautiful. Thanks. I got lucky. Who knew I was going to be bald? So I lucked out and had a decent shaped head. And Jenny says it cures a lot of things, the stem cell work, a lot of diseases. It's true. It's true. A lot of people are able to recover from things that supposedly they couldn't recover from, or even things that supposedly the only intervention is surgical. But like instead of knee replacement, people have had stem cell therapies that made knee replacement not necessary, not in all cases, but same thing with hip replacement. Sometimes people have had these stem cell treatments and it has been powerfully effective, amazing, and this again is nature, right? And so what would it look like? What would it look like if we allowed nature to counsel and direct us instead of being humans on the planet, using the planet like everything here is a resource for us? How about if everything here is something that we're related to? And how would that change our interaction with all of nature if we recognize that water perhaps is alive? Maybe there is consciousness here. Wouldn't that be a wild thing to consider? And what does that mean if there's consciousness here and we drink water and we eat things that are primarily water? What kind of consciousness are we giving and receiving? I mean, as at the very least, a thought experiment, it's a pretty radical consideration, isn't it? And how would we be different in the world if that were so and we lived as if it were so? I'm just like, my mind is kind of blown with all this, and I'm opening to new possibilities here. So Jenny says, that's a religion that starts with a P, universe, and nature is God. I don't know what that religion is, but universe and nature is God in expression, right? Whatever your religion, I would think, right? That all of it is a manifestation. And what about the intelligence of it? Lisa says you can talk to water to change its form. Exactly. That's what we're talking about, is we can talk to water and water can talk to us apparently too. This woman, Veda, has found consistent communications with water. So I'm just looking to see, she has another book and I can't remember the name. Hold on, I'll find it because it's really quite amazing. Um, she's been working with water and taking these photographs for years. And so, oh, it's interesting. It's not on Amazon. Interesting. I'm going to find this for you because I think you want to check it out. Her website is vedaaustin.com. I'll put that in the chat for you, just because this is such cool stuff. And if we go to, she supposedly she has workshops, but hydroglyphs. That's what she calls them. So in her 4 years or more, I mean, she's got something like 30,000 images of water and communications with water. And what she's calling hydroglyphs are symbols that the water has created in response to questions or words. So she, rather than hieroglyphs, she's calling them hydroglyphs. And for instance, love. Oh, polytheism, Jenny says. Polytheism means many gods. So, you know, and the like fire, water, air, earth, all different gods, many gods. Anyway, these hydroglyphs, for instance, love actually shows hearts. And she's identified a certain number of these hydroglyphs and messages from water. She actually teaches people how to be able to do this and how to be able to create these messages. You have a petri dish and you communicate with the water and then you freeze it. And I don't know, I mean, I know you use a regular freezer. I don't know if you have to use special water or what, but eventually you get images. And on one of the interviews I was hearing, she spoke about a woman who did this for 6 months, and then eventually she got images coming from the water. So, you know, it's like maybe establishing a relationship, making that commitment to communicate. It's like making the commitment to communicate with nature, to create a trusting bond, you know, to be building that bridge for communication. Jenny says everything is connected. It is. And, you know, so one of the things that blew me away in that film is that they had 2 beakers of water. And this may have been structured water, I think, but they had 2 beakers of water. And between the 2 beakers, a bridge of water. Between the 2 beakers, there was water going through the 2 beakers. And they were able to measure energy transmission in the water between those 2 beakers. Awesome. Like amazing, amazing, amazing. And I remember years ago hearing about a water-powered engine, a water-powered car in India. And I've heard of other people who have made water-based engines. Now that is clean energy. And I believe it's 100% possible. I mean, it's existed and then got disappeared. But maybe now's the time. Maybe now is the time. And to be really, truly working in harmony with nature. What would that look like? So fun things to think about, right? And you've got some fun resources to go check out. I'm really excited about water stories. I've told you about that, about healing the water cycle. And I am just feeling more and more and more deeply connected to water and the spirit of it and the magic of it and the beauty of it and the wonder of it, that it is the fundamental thing on our planet, the foundation of all life, the blood of the planet, and we don't really even understand how it works, which is amazing. Apparently there are 63 anomalies related to water that we just don't understand. I don't know what they are. I'm going to look them up and learn more. But the council of all creatures. So maybe it means not just the things that we are aware of as living, but maybe water too is alive. Maybe it is life embodied somehow. What fun. So I think that's it for today. Jenny says, is that related? Everything is connected. Is that related? I'm not sure what you mean. Is that related? But Lisa says, I'm never more at peace or more centered and aligned than when in, on, or near water. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Yeah, I feel very connected to water, and yet I'm not somebody who really enjoys sailing or, being out on the water necessarily. But I have a deep, abiding love and appreciation for water. And it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper, like such a deeply felt sense of connection. It's really amazing, really amazing. So yeah, I think that the other thing is that when water is structured, it can heal other water. Lisa says, I got my scuba cert when I was 15. I wanted to get certified in scuba, but I had asthma and I couldn't, they wouldn't let me dive. That's so cool, Lisa. Really, really cool. Rosalind says, TGIF, have a good weekend, y'all. Thanks for being with us, Rosalind. Happy Friday, everybody. And as always, I so appreciate these mornings with you. We went a little over this morning, but it was worth it. And I didn't have to run someplace. So anyway, I wish you a wonderful weekend. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. I go live here each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern and on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page. Please check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network, EWN One with the Earth, Enlightened World Living. And Jenny says, I heard that putting out a jar of water on a full moon changes the water. Not sure what it does, though. Yeah, I'll bet it does. And if you maybe put peace and love, apparently Emoto's discovered that the most beautiful crystals came from the words gratitude and love. So with that, until next week, I wish you all a beautiful weekend and so much love to you.